An hour had passed since we left the guild. We were still wandering about on the streets. I didn't think we'd get turned down at every inn. Yeah, I guess a child can't rent a room even if she has a guild card. That's what all the receptionists had said, but they were obviously worried about how Fran looked. She was in little more than a ragged piece of cloth and sandals, which made her look either homeless or like a runaway slave. Granted, she did stink, but come on, I made sure she was clean by using some cleaning magic, but they couldn't have known that. Let's get some equipment first to sharpen you up. She looked puzzled. I'll pick out your armor pieces for you, Fran. You have nothing to worry about. We headed for the plaza that was next to the Adventurers Guild. The place was bustling with adventurers buying gear from different stalls and stores. There were weaponsmiths, armorsmiths, weavers' cottages, drugstores, alchemy ateliers, pubs, kitchens, and so on. I figured out the average price of goods here. A steel knife was 200 G, a 5th grade life potion 10,000 G, and a 4th grade antidote 20,000 G. 5th grade was the lowest quality potion, but it was still quite expensive. It could heal deep gashes instantly, so I guess it was fair enough. The people of my Earth would have priced it about the same. I got oddly excited by looking at all the strange new goods before me. This is so much fun. Yeah, you think so too, Fran? So many weird things, it's cool. That's good to hear. There was a glint in Fran's eyes despite her usual calm expression. It was nice seeing her excited for a change. Now, where was that store I kept hearing about? We had been keeping our ears sharp for any useful information as we walked the streets. There was a famous blacksmith currently living in Alessa. He was currently renting out a storefront in the area. My plan was to ask him to make a set of armor for Fran. We might not have enough money or material, but consultation was free. Now, where could he be? There were weapon and armor shops, but none that seemed worthy of note. I thought people would have swarmed all over this smithy if he was good, as the rumors had said. Has he closed up shop for today? If he was that popular, he just might have. Little lady, do you have a second? Huh? Yes, you. Is this guy hitting on Fran? Was my immediate reaction. But the source of the voice turned out to be an old dwarf. He still looked like a certain detritus old man with a tortoise shell on his back, so I wasn't about to let my guard down. If he tried anything funny, I'd accidentally drop myself on his feet to warn him. Looks like you're in the market for equipment. How about it? How'd you know? You learn a few tricks when you've been in the business for as long as I have. Fran said nothing. No need to be suspicious. It was easy enough. I could tell from your footwork that you're quite a warrior. Despite that, you're dressed in rags, and you've been looking at every weapon and armor shop you've passed by. You're looking for gear, ain't ya? This old man was smart. Who was he? Name, Garrus. Age, 82. Race, dwarf. Class, arcane blacksmith. Level, 33. HP, 160. Magic, 173. Strength, 122. Agility, 46. Skills, disassemble 2. Flame resistance, 7. Blacksmith, 10. Smith magic, 9. Identify, 7. Mining, 3. Hammer arts, 2. Hammer mastery, 7. Poison resistance, 2. Leatherwork, 6. Fire magic, 6. Tireless, 6. Manasmith, 7. Connoisseur, 8. Fire god's protection. Spirit manipulation. Extra skill, God's sight. Titles: Wandering Blacksmith, Honorary Blacksmith of Kranzel, Smith King. Equipment: Enchanted Steel Smith Hammer, Salamander Shirt, Firebird Sandals, Armband of Stamina Recovery. Everything from his skills to his titles was amazing. Was this the great blacksmith we'd been hearing so much about? No wonder he could analyze us just by looking at us. We were certainly saved from the trouble of looking for him. How lucky. Wow. As you can see, I've been around for a while. You wanna take a look at my shop? Please. Right this way. Gyros led us to his store, which was in a small alley leading off the plaza. We felt countless stairs as we made our way there. The scrutiny was quite slimy, and it felt if they were calculating our value. Why is everyone staring at us? Enemies? Not exactly, but the gazes coming from the merchants were so sharp that Fran mistook them from hostiles. What was going on? Oh, don't mind them. The merchants are just trying to pressure you into buying from them instead. Either that, or they gonna offer to buy some of my equipment from you. They're a hard-headed bunch. That sounded like trouble. Don't you worry. You can leave by the back door when we're done. Now, what are you in the market for? I wasn't completely reassured, but worrying about it now wasn't going to help. We were fortunate enough to have the great blacksmith himself offer his services for us, so we had to make the best of it. You'll sell stuff to me? I only sell my gears to folks who deserve to use my gear, and you passed, little lady. The blacksmith was in the habit of traveling from town to town selling weapons at an absurdly cheap rate. He traveled the entire country this way, and he had to admit I quite liked the stubborn old merchant. As for his sword collection, I want a sword. What? But you already have a fine sword. It's the first time I've seen an intelligent weapon in person. Impossible. How did he find out? Did he use Identify on me? But I had Identify protection on. He couldn't have bypassed that. Intelligent weapon? Fran tilted her head in response. Good acting, Fran. That'll throw him off the scent. Don't worry. I won't do anything to it if you don't want me to. I was just checking. My eyes are special, you see. They can identify anything, even if it has identity protections. That goes double for weapons and armor. So that was how he did it. He did have Gad's sight, on top of Identify and Connoisseur. I guess that was the skill he used. I only got a look at its attack value, its mana conductivity, which was A, and the fact that it's an intelligent weapon though. Do you have anything to add, sword? Then you should know that I want this girl, Fran, to use a proper sword. What do we have here? Was that telepathy? You really are sapient. This is great. You're acting like a child. You act that way too sometimes, teacher. No way, really? Really. Oh, I guess hobbies make everyone get in touch with their inner child. I look at old Garus, who was acting like a kid in a candy store. So intelligent. So that's what I look like? I should exercise prudence in the future. Excuse me, I got a little excited there. In any case, you won't need any of my weapons with your abilities. Whoa, you saw my stats, didn't you? Your swords are much stronger, like that one over there. This old dwarf must have made the superior gear we saw in the city, seeing as there were weapons of similar design adorning his shop. All of them were about as strong as, or even stronger than I was. Just talking about my terrible stats made me feel like hacking up blood. That's because you're only looking at its raw attack value. Don't tell me you don't understand what mana conductivity does. Mana conductivity? I guess I do have that attribute. I figured you were clueless. Shame. Is it that important, an attribute? Important? It's the first thing you look at when you're out shopping for swords. What? I didn't know that. Shocked. Explain further. Well, sure. Mana conductivity refers to a weapon's capacity to be modified by magical energy. Much of weapon's power is derived from its attribute. I see. Take this sword here. Garrus took down a short sword that was displayed on the wall. It was made of steel with a mana conductivity of E. With a mana conductivity of E, it only has a 5% efficiency at using magic. For example, if you charge 100 mana, it will only increase your attack power points by 5 points. Then, he took down a mithril sword. Its mana conductivity was C. It had 70% efficiency, which means charging 100 mana would increase its attack power by 70. That was quite significant. I could see how mana conductivity could cover the gap between my raw attack power. Better conductivity means higher efficiency, and that means you can charge your weapon with magic for longer. By the way, is the mithril C rating considered high in terms of conductivity? Of course it is. Mithril has a special high mana conductivity. C is probably the highest value for commercial weapons. What usually happens is the raw attack power suffers from prioritizing mana conductivity. So then A is amazing. That's right, only enchanted swords have an A rating in mana conductivity. That means 200% mana efficiency. I'll be honest with you, none of my weapons can come close. So if Fran charged 100 mana, I could increase her attack by 200? I was really strong. It looked like my time had finally come. Is there a limit to how much magic I can charge? Depends on what you're made of, and in your case, I don't know. Looks like you're made of harmonium, base along with some other magical alloys mixed in. Fran had handed me to Garrus for closer inspection, and he was now tapping my blade curiously. Doesn't look like you're made of anything less than orichalcum, so I'm sure you won't have any problems going up to 1000. Not that anyone had that big of a mana pool. Why, the kingdom's mages only go up to 500 on average. Garrus let out a big belly laugh while I broke into a cold sweat. My MP was at 1000. Did that mean I had a 2000 attack boost this whole time? I thought it was kinda weird. I hadn't run into any trouble with all the ferocious monsters I had faced. I thought I was just lucky to have landed a blow to the weak spots by sheer luck, or that telekinesis had accelerated me fast enough. I was likely charging myself with mana while not noticing it. Material aside, an E-rank charge lasts you 5 minutes. You get an additional 2 minutes for every successive rank. So A makes it 30 minutes, thereabouts. That's pretty long. Enough for a short fight. Yeah, then I'm not a decorative sword? If you were, I don't know what that makes the rest of the swords in the world. I see. I'm so glad to hear that. I was so happy. I would have started crying if I had eyes. I was so much a sword that I viewed other swords as competition. Being stronger than the lot of them made my day. You're impeccable as an enchanted sword. In fact, you might be able to go up against a divine sword. Enchanted? Divine? Yet, who made you? A godsmith? I don't know. I don't have any memories of being crafted. I see. Do you know anything about me? Any little detail would help. I was disgusted by how I didn't know where I had came from. If this man had any information about me, then I'd like to know it. We blacksmiths have our own rankings, you see. Blacksmith, great blacksmith, arcane blacksmith, and godsmith. There are derivations of the smith class, but I won't talk about them today. The godsmiths are the greatest of the blacksmiths with legendary prowess. There have only been 5 of them in recorded history. The legendary 5 sounds cool. All blacksmiths long to become godsmiths. They're the only ones capable of crafting divine blades. So you're saying a godsmith crafted me? I think so, but there's no way to be sure. You're too weak for a divine sword, but on the other hand, you're too strong for an enchanted sword. What? Okay, maybe a really good arcane blacksmith made me. It's possible. How strong is a divine sword? Now I was curious. How strong was a sword that was better than me? A divine sword can split the heavens and crack the earth. It is the ultimate weapon. The last time it was used in a war, it claimed the lives of tens of thousands in a matter of minutes. A sword can do that? It doesn't have to be a sword proper. Weapons crafted by blacksmiths are all called divine swords. That's what I hear anyway. So you've never seen one? Only the flame sword, Ignis. And how strong was Mr. Ignis? My identify wasn't as strong as it is now, so I couldn't get a full scan, but... Name: Flame Sword Ignis. Attack: 1800. Mana Conductivity: SS. Skills: Flame Magic, Flame God, Unknown. That's the gist of it. Holy, I'm sorry for acting stuck up. I know now that I'm no divine sword. Oh, don't say that. You're a fine sword yourself. You're trying to cheer up this dull blade. You're such a nice old man. Don't worry about it. Not every day I get to meet a talking sword. You brought a bigger smile to my face than I did to your blade. Garrus, sword. From the corner of my eye, I could see Fran browsing the store with a bored look on her face. This is a good breastplate. 10 minutes later. Ahahaha. Sorry for leaving you out the discussion, little lady. It's okay. I guess Fran can keep using me as her main weapon. Could you make me a scabbard though? Sure, I'll make the finest scabbard you've ever seen. We won't be able to pay you much, but we want some armor too. Alright, what's your budget? We still need to get supplies and lodging, so how does 150G sound? We could settle for cheaper armor, but Garrus was a famous arcane blacksmith. I wondered what 150,000G could get us from his inventory. Let me see. You know what? I like you two so much I'll throw the scabbard in along with the armor. Are you sure? That's awful nice of you. Hey, don't worry about it. So what kind of armor do you want? I may be a blacksmith, but I can do leather work too. What do you think? I want something light. Leather it is. We'll use metal to reinforce the protection of your vital areas. I'll go with that. What about headgear? I don't like wearing anything. It gets in the way of my field of vision. In that case, I'll fit you with a Beastman earband. You won't have to get your ears pierced either. Okay. Now just sit tight. Garrus disappeared into his storage room and brought out an assortment of gear. Try these on for size. He took out 4 pieces of armor. Flame Bull dress armor, Paralysis cat gloves, Venom wyvern boots, and the Mithril earband, cat type. Their defense values weren't half bad, and they came with decent buffs like flame resistance, impact resistance, paralysis resistance, poison resistance, and magic resistance. The armor was weak compared to the Guildmaster and Donadrond, but was slightly stronger than the average adventurer on the street. The set was colored white and black, and looked quite good on Fran. The base of the dress armor was basically a white dress with black knee socks, but the breastplate was reinforced with metal and leather. The quality of the material drove the defensive value up further. On top of that, Garrus had given Fran some ordinary clothes. They didn't have any defensive value whatsoever, but they were finely woven. This is high quality gear. Are you sure we can have all this? How many times do I gotta tell you it's fine? Strong adventurers need strong gear, and God knows my gear ain't nothing compared to an enchanted sword. Besides, I'm not making a loss here. Isn't that nice of him, Fran? Thank you. Just make sure you drop in from time to time, eh? I've always wanted a closer look at an intelligent weapon. Just don't do anything weird to me. I'll just use Identify and Connoisseur on you at most. That sounds harmless enough. Oh, and if you bring me some materials, I could craft some gear for you, and on the cheap, of course. I immediately thought of the higher-ranking materials I had left in my pocket dimension. Selling them to the guild would make us stick out like a sore thumb. May as well solve the problem of having old Garrus make armor from them. We have materials. Yeah, we want to keep our low profile, so could we bother you to make gear out of them? Oh, what materials do you have in mind? C and D rank. C rank was the point where it was normal for the government to get involved and dispatched its knights battalions if the monster was sighted near a city. They made B-rank adventurers work for their keep. Got an empty room? Right this way. Are you gonna bring it in later? We have it right now. You have an item pouch? I don't see anyone on you. And he was right. Fran wasn't equipped with an item pouch. She only had a shirt, sandals, and sword on her. It's in one of my skills. Interesting. Didn't think a sword could double as an item box. I ignored Garrus's muttering and went inside the empty room. It must have been a storage room originally because of its lack of flooring and high ceiling. Here goes. I began extracting items from the pocket dimension. First were the tyrant saber-toothed fangs, claws, and pelt. Next came the doppel snake fangs and scales. Then came the blast tortoise shell and skin. They were all enough to fill the entire room. I only told the old blacksmith about the gluttonous slime lord I had killed. I didn't want to take it out, since that would leave the room sticky and covered in slime. I'd save it until I found a barrel I could store the thing's remains in. Holy, did you kill all of these yourself? These are materials from C and D rank monsters. Pretty much. And you did it alone? I did it by myself, to be precise. I just flew around with telekinesis. Ha, that's ridiculous. Well, that's one way to use that ability. I didn't come equipped with many basic skills, so I figured out I had to get creative. Alright, I'll be able to make plenty of good gear with these. Word of caution, the little lady's not gonna be able to equip them until she levels up a bit. I expected no less from armor made of high-rank monster material. I won't be able to handle this quality of leather by myself. I'll have to enlist some help. Maybe. Well, Garrus? Oh, excuse me. I was getting a bit excited there. Can't remember the last time I had this much material to play with. Anything else you folks hiding up your sleeve? The man was absolutely beaming. So you'll make it for us? Of course. But how much does a blacksmith of your stature charge for custom gear? Let's see. You brought all the basic materials and all, but it's going to cost at least 3 million G. Geez, that's a lot of money. Would you mind selling the leftover material to me? Sure, take it. That makes it easier. It won't take much to craft the young lady's armor, so I'll just buy the rest of the material from you and use that to cover the crafting fee. Deal? Deal. Then we're in business. When will it be ready? It's gonna take about a month. That's longer than expected. It's plenty fast, I promise you. Besides, I can't afford to be sloppy with such fine material. I'll need some extra components too, so I'll need to order them in. Can't be helped. Are you okay with that, Fran? Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It's gonna be great. We then diced the slime lord's remain into a steel barrel Garrus had provided for us. The slime had its different uses apparently. You don't happen to have any crystals on you, do you? No. Ah, that's a shame. Crystals can be used to make armor too? Yep, it adds to the buff of a particular piece of armor. Take this doppel snake fang for example. Using it to craft armor will give you medium level poison resistance, while crafting a weapon with it will give it poison fang. Now if you add a doppel snake crystal to it, you get more poison resistance and advanced poison fang instead. You could use some other crystal on a given material, but you get a greater effect if you pair it to a certain material with its corresponding crystal. I didn't know you could use crystals that way. Unfortunately, I had absorbed every crystal we came across. I'd have to store the crystals of the monsters whose skills I already owned. I could always pop them out of storage for a quick bite anyway. We'll keep an eye out. That would be for the best. I guess we'll be taking our leave for today. Bye bye. Sorry for all the trouble. Ha ha ha. Just wait until you see your gear. Also, I'll finish your scabbard in 3 days. Remember to pick it up. We will. We took care of our material problem and got some great gear out of that meeting. It was a good thing we ran into him. You look great into it. You look great in it too, Fran. You look like a real adventurer now. Thanks.